If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, fasten your seatbelts indeed because we've got quite the ride ahead of us. What we're going to be doing tonight, Q has not posted and it is December 31st. It is New Year's Eve and here I am posting, but I've been so busy researching and whatever, I just wanted to stay home tonight and get into more of this. So there you go. We're going to be looking into more. The last video was called Nothing to See Here, Move Along, so you probably need to watch that one before you watch this because it will kind of lay the foundation for you. But what we're going to be doing is looking more in depth into the notebook, okay? We've got some people on this that are looking into it. Now, below I'm going to place the links. The first link is to the original photocopied document, okay, with nothing added. Absolutely nothing added. It is as it was found and as it was given to me. The second one is a link to the enhanced document. Now by enhanced, I mean the pictures have been enhanced slightly so that you are able to read it better, because some of the photographs are a little bit hard to read because it's written in pencil. So that is the second link. Now what I'm going to be going over is actually a research document, and there's a couple people working on, well actually more than a couple people, but there's one main person and another helper, Anon. That's how he refers to himself, and that's how he asked me to refer to him. I don't know him. I don't know his identity. I just know he's a helper, Anon, and seems to have a great deal of insight. And the other person as well is a fabulous, well-seasoned researcher. So now I'm not going to dox them because I don't have their permission to do that, so I'm not going to, but I am going to start getting into the contents of the notebook. I wasn't sure whether I was just going to drop it and leave it and just go on to other things, or whether I was going to delve into it. And I took a little a tour around and actually ended up on Godlike Productions, and they were mentioning my video on this forum, so I went over there, and before I left I wanted to gnaw off my own legs with my teeth, but that is another that's a whole other subject for another day. Anyway, here is my concern, all right, and let me get off of this screen because it's really annoying to look at for both you and I. All right, so here is where we're going to be heading in a minute. Now, I think it's important because this document was not found with any pictures, but now I'm finding people are adding things to it and uploading it. Well, that is actually adulterating the file, and I'll tell you why. Because somebody's going to grab that and they're going to think, oh, well, the notebook had these pictures originally. And, you know, there's one that has a picture of the bed and breakfast. As far as I know, nobody knows where that bed and breakfast is located. I mean, they know the state, but I don't know. And I actually have my doubts that it really was found in a bed and breakfast, and I'll tell you why. Because the metadata was erased from all the pictures. Well, somebody must know what they're doing to do that, don't you think? So anyway, we're going to get into a little bit of researching it, and I'm not going to be able to do this all in one video, but I did want to warn you that I think it's important. We all need to be researching this. This doesn't belong to any one person. It was given into my hands just to get it out there, and I did that. But it doesn't belong to any one person. I think we all need to be researching this, but I think that we need to not do sloppy research. If you add something to the document and you upload it to disseminate it, well then let people know this part is the original document, this part is my added notes. Now what I have done here, anything you see in blue that I'm going to go over, that is added. It's added in terms of some explanation or some in-depth research, but anything in black is taken directly from the notebook. which is being translated into a Word document and is well on its way to being completed. And the actual graphs and so forth are going to be added later. That's something that will have to be done in a graphics program, and that'll take a little bit of time, but it will be something that is added later. So we're trying to make this searchable, number one, because you can't search a bunch of pictures for certain names and so forth, but once it's into a Word document, you can. Obviously, you all know that. But I think it's important that we, if we're disseminating this information, that we tell people this is original, this is research, because otherwise we run the risk of somebody picking this up and just saying, well, that's ridiculous, that's not, and just, dismissing the whole bit. And I think that is, now I know that there are other files out there with at least 2 pictures added. One is a picture of the couple, and yes, that picture's real. It is an actual picture of the couple in the book. However, we don't actually know that she wrote this. We can surmise because it makes sense that she wrote this, but we're going to go into this a little bit more in depth anyway. So I'm just a word of caution there. Okay, and this is the Mysterious Spiral Notebook. A mysterious spiral notebook came to our attention recently, and the contents cried out for analysis. Fact? Fiction? Maybe some of each. None of what appears here has been validated by any actual investigation. And by actual investigation, we're talking police, FBI, whatever. To our knowledge, it has not been validated in that way yet, but I have tried to get it into as many hands as I possibly can and to upload it to Dropbox, and I'm going to put the links in the description below. So please, if you're interested in this, follow these links and do your own research. I always say that. Think your own thoughts, do your own research, okay? Anyway, so a notebook was found, and the contents of that notebook were examined. We believe, that's me and my research staff. Now that is not me. I don't have a research staff. This is the person that put it into my hands and who will remain anonymous. We believe, that's me and my research staff, believe that we know the exact name, occupation, and home address of the author. We won't post that here, as it could be a document written by someone else who is setting someone else up for trouble. We don't know anything at this point, right? We know that the person named in the document is real. We know that their occupation is real. We know that the information about themselves is real. But we don't know if they wrote it or somebody else that's trying to set that person up. We don't know at this point. It's all conjecture. And that is why we're encouraging people to dive into this, to pick it apart, pull it apart. There's lots here, and to me, I am more than convinced that it's real because everything seems to check out. Now, you can be the judge of that. We believe, that's me and my research staff, believe that we know the exact name, occupation, whatever. We're not going to post it. Terms that may not be familiar were looked up. Contents of the notebook was analyzed. Some minor conclusions were drawn, but the bulk of the information and conclusions must be done by the reader of this document. Now, I'm going to post a link to this document as well, all right? So you will have all the tools to which you can research this for yourself. We cannot vouch or verify or validate that this writing is or is not a hoax. We don't know if it's accurate or it was intentionally left behind with misinformation with the intent to deceive. We don't know at this point. We don't even know really if it was found in a bed and breakfast. I somehow have my doubts. That part of it does not bear witness with me because it doesn't make sense. If I was a person that was in dire straits, I don't think I would trust a hotel maid with my life. I'm just saying, I would try to get that into the hands of the FBI or someone trusted. But again, I don't know. This is all conjecture. We cannot vouch or verify or validate that this writing is or is not a hoax. We don't know if it's accurate or was intentionally left behind with misinformation with the intent to deceive. It is possible that it is all fiction from the twisted mind of an abused wife eager to see her estranged husband punished for elaborate crimes that she invented. The thing is, too many of the puzzle pieces fit in with things that we already know and believe to be accurate, things that we have learned from Q. So we read on. Although this really is not about Q. Q has led us into a lot of research about these things, so a lot of what we're going to be looking at is very familiar to us. So, but again, I'm just presenting you as it is. Now, page 97 mentions Seth Rich was missing. Seth was shot on Sunday, July 10th, 2016. So that may or may not narrow the time frame of the notebook creation. Just because it's now coming on scene doesn't mean that it was written recently. We don't know that. We don't know. There are no dates in the notebook, and there are no numbers to the pages. That was added by us on the pages of the pictures, just so that it would be easier to sort through it. That's all. There were no original page numbers. So there's the Seth Rich thing. Based on current events, we are going to assume that at least some of the data is factual. Otherwise, there would be no reason to proceed with any transcription or analysis. Which parts are accurate and which may be suspect, well, that is left to you, the reader, to decide. It appears that the intended recipient may have been legal representation, as on page 76, we read, and this is in black, so this is a direct quote from that page. Because you have represented FBI whistleblowers, and I am a whistleblower, credible witness, and a victim of retaliation. What follows is our analysis of the contents of the notebook. This is not an endorsement of the validity of the contents, nor any indictment of the people or places mentioned. We only know they were mentioned. It would take a team of 470 investigators to tie it all together and actually indict anyone. If you believe the contents are a hoax, if you believe the contents are a hoax or written in jest, then please laugh it on and go about your life. We're not asking anybody to believe anything. We are presenting you with what we have. That's it. We don't know. And we're presenting it because we believe that there is enough here to warrant an investigation. Any verbal or physical threats against the messengers may indicate that there is some validity to at least some of its contents. Anything printed or represented here does not constitute any enforcement or agreement with any data provided. Our comments and analysis are in blue. The page numbers on the notebook are our own. Page numbers do not appear anywhere in the original notebook and were created during the analysis for the purpose of organizing the data. They may or may not coincide with any versions of the document that may be elsewhere and may be dissected by others with different analysis systems. However, if you are adding pictures to these, that's not in the original document. Questions, acronyms and abbreviations, as well as a who's who and what's what that were used by the author of the notebook follow on the last pages of this document. They were looked up in attempts to understand what the author of the notebook may have been trying to communicate. We don't know when or where nor why this notebook was written. We don't know if it was left behind to be found or if it was accidentally left behind. We don't know when it may have been written, but likely before March 2018, as there are many references to the Panamanian law firm of Mossack Fonseca. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. According to the law firm, the firm announced on March 14th of 2018 that they would close down. The Panama Papers investigation showed that the law firm was involved with tax evasion and bribery and more. The journalist that broke the story was killed after his disclosure in a car bomb on October 16th, 2017. An article appeared in Fortune on December 5th of 2018 that said the indictment details tax evasion related crimes dating to 2000 and implies that at least dozens more Americans were using Mossack Fonseca's services. One more client, now dead, helped authorities in their investigation by recording calls with Owens and introducing him to an undercover agent, the indictment reveals. scroll down here. The client joined a voluntary tax amnesty program offered by the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, IRS, despite recommendations from the Mossack Fonseca to instead put funds into pre-existing shelf companies that the law firm established to enable its clients to hide their funds. This is as quoted in the article from Fortune magazine on December 5th, 2018. Several of the pages of the notebook are written as diagrams with arrows pointing in various directions. These don't copy well to a Word document, so for this document, I will transcribe the content so it is word searchable and include a photo of the notebook pages so the reader can see the context and content and draw their own conclusions. So, what we're going to cover here is pages 1 to 70. Actually, that's incorrect. Page 1 to 70 are not complete yet, but from 71 on has been completed. Now, that doesn't mean that it's been, totally researched. It's just been copied from the actual pictures into a Word document that is searchable. So that is what has been done, and any notes that are in blue are notes that are added by the researcher. All right. Simply pass on, and anything written in black here that we're about to read is exactly from the notebook. Simply pass on most of the charge/minute to the end user, aka the customer. There is little to no in-country investment in Colombia or Mexico. Now, what this person's talking about, they are talking about her husband. You probably need to see the video that came before this to get an understanding and a foundation by which we can build on. But her husband is the head of, if this is even, we don't know, but Virgin Mobile and Latin America. So that's what she's talking about. She is talking about and documenting the crimes per se. Now, again, we don't know that any crime has been committed, but we are simply taking this at face value and researching it. So there is little to no in-country investment in Colombia or Mexico, or where Friend Group operates, all in countries that are high risk for corruption, money laundering, narco, terrorism, and terror funding. 2, Virgin Mobile LATAM has only 1.9% share of Mexican market. They are reselling airtime from Telefónica, Spain, also a Clinton Foundation donor company. So why is Peter McNee meeting with Carlos Slim and staying in 5-star hotel? And that is her husband, Peter McNee. Why is he meeting with Carlos Slim and staying in 5-star hotels and bragging to me that he is meeting with the, and then it says continued on page 73, as page 72 is a diagram. So why is Peter McNee meeting with Carlos Slim and staying in a 5-star hotel and bragging to me that he is meeting with the Mossack Fonseca, Virgin, JWM plus Jill plus Fernando, 1980, and a researcher's note here say JWM, J Metcalf, and Jill are marked as handlers. I think any of you that have been listening to these videos know what a handler is. Millicom, Telecom, Millicom International Cellular, SA, I would assume that's South America, is an international telecommunications and media company. FCT/MPA, Internet, SEC, Virgin, Telecom, Slim, drugs. And she's talking about Carlos Slim here. Drugs, Telecom, Rand. We've heard lots about the Rand Corporation, haven't we? And likely reference is to Carlos Slim, Mexican philanthropist, Rand Corp, Board of Trustees. So he is on the Rand Corporation's Board of Trustees. See the who's who at the end for more bio information. Afrimax equals telecom, 4G operator in Africa. See who's who and what's what at the end. Agent provocateurs, Mossack Fonseca, Jill plus Fernando. Money laundering, human rights abuses, human trafficking, corruption, online sex trafficking, other crimes, fraud equals RICO, ML, FBAR, FACTA, FCPA, charity frauds, espionage, MATTL, support of terror, assassination, Pakistan, CIA, Al Qaeda, Ramzi Yusuf, Bojinka, Philippines, and explanation below. World Trade Center 1993, TWA 800, TWA 800 exploded in 1996, a few minutes after taking off from New York City headed to Rome. Official cause of accident was not terrorism, while the World Trade Center 1993 clearly was terrorism. Here, the author implies that the TWA 800 incident was not an accident, something we didn't know. But many of us have surmised. Child sex trafficking, mangoes, Hillary and Cheryl Mills, according to WikiLeaks. This is a reference, the mangoes is a reference to Hillary and Cheryl Mills, and of course we know about the trafficking. Nuclear technology, North Korea, KGB, Mossad, foreign intel, Russia and Israel. And here is a picture of the this has been taken from this page, so the page has been included for reference. And here is 73, richest man in the world, while he is abusing me, domestic violence, physical, sexual, psychological, and financial, denying me access to marital funds and bank accounts at Chase Bank, falsely impoverishing us while preparing to divorce me, and my attorney claiming his companies are all bankrupt and he has no money. Why isn't the Virgin Credit Suisse account on the case information statement at Tribe Mobile BVI Inc.? Why is there so many millions of US dollars investment into the Virgin's group, Virgin Mobile, by the following? And we are now traversing into page 74. New World Order equals George Herbert Walker Bush plus 1988 plus PGM, which stands for Peter Gordon McNee, intimate infiltration, tradecraft, father, military intel, already under surveillance, USAF/CIA, Gamil, now satanic global elite, child trafficking networks, Queen Elizabeth II, Committee of 300, deep state, rogue, government plus intel agencies, DARPA, Five Eyes, CIA, and Mossack Fonseca, SRB, Sir Richard Branson, Virgin, Guerreros, J.W. Metcalf. Now, Mossack Fonseca and Company, Spanish pronunciation is here, was a Panamanian law firm and corporate service provider. It was, at one time, the world's fourth largest provider of offshore financial services. From its 1977 foundation until the April 2016 publications of the Panama Papers, it remained mostly obscure, even though it sat at the heart of the global offshore industry and acted for about 300,000 companies. More than half are registered in British tax havens, as well as the UK. The firm received worldwide media attention in April 2016 when the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists published information about its clients' financial dealings in the Panama Papers. I'm sure we've all heard about the Panama Papers articles, following the release of an enormous cache of its documents between 1970 and 2015, leaked to the news media. Journalist Daphne I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but you can see the word right there, her name right there, who led the disclosure efforts, was subsequently murdered by a car bomb on October 16th, 2017. Mossack Fonseca and Company was a okay, this is this the same thing? Yeah, so they put it in there twice. So on March 14th, the law firm announced that it was shutting down because of the economic and reputational damage inflicted by the disclosure of its role in global tax evasion by the Panama Papers. Now let's move down, and we're moving into her notes now. Rand Corporation, Carlos Slim, Peter McNee, One, Virgin Mobile, New York Times, USAID, OPIC, fraud, Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, OPIC is Overseas Private Investment Corporation, a U.S. government agency or program. U.S. State Department, Pakistan, CIA, Al-Qaeda, Ramzi Youssef, World Trade Center, Mangoes, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Philippines, North Korea. Mango appears to be a code word for Hillary Rodham Clinton. 5, KGB, Mossad, Five Eyes, British, Canada, NOC, and NOC may be Network Operational Center, or Operations Center rather. JWM, circled, PJM, Peter Gordon McNee, WMM, Canadian Judiciary, PGM, Peter Gordon McNee, and now we're on to page 75. As political press and statements, and SIC means that this is being translated exactly as it appears in the book. That is what SIC means. Hang on here. Sovereign wealth funds, circled. Why? Sharia finance equals ML terror finance through reverse money laundering, United Gulf Bank, Bank Dhofar, NTEC, Kuwait, also donor to Clinton Foundation. Now this is found exactly as written in the notebook, but it's been highlighted because it's very important. Donor to Clinton Foundation. Boy, it just, everything leads back to the Clintons, doesn't it? Gulf Investment Corporation, GCC countries, all donors to the Clinton Foundation. World Bank funds, IMF funds. Why all this millions into Richard Branson's Virgin Mobile fake company when it is only an MVNO, meaning mobile virtual network operator? It is too much money. That is what she is saying. This is page 76 we're on now. Please see me. I will not disappoint you. I can also provide intel to President Trump. I tried to contact him in October, but I was blocked by someone impersonating his campaign in Fairfax, Virginia. Also has his own Republican officer there. Because you have represented FBI whistleblowers and I am a whistleblower, credible witness, and a victim of retaliation, because you hate dirty cops, and so do I, although because my life is in danger and you can get this evidence to President Trump, I need to be put into the witness protection program as set forth. I have original information / evidence, and P.S. You are 100% correct about Valerie Blame. She was not some high-value CIA asset in London. By the way, she's in QAnon, ICIJ database, Mossack Fonseca, Panama Papers. Other journalists and citizen investigators have found pieces of this criminal / deep state network. And he's just interpreted deep state there because we know what it means, but in case somebody doesn't. But I can provide details because I have close personal and business relationships with the perps and co-conspirators. Now, I also want to touch on this just briefly because many people have brought up that, oh, I don't believe this because it looks like different handwriting. Well, I don't believe she sat and wrote this all at once. So I know my handwriting varies enormously depending on whether I'm hurried, whether I'm stressed, whether I'm just taking notes, or whether I'm trying to make something really legible for somebody to understand, because goodness knows nobody can read my handwriting unless I try to make it legible. So you know, the other explanation for that, I mean, certainly this was written over a period of time. I don't believe for a minute this was just sat down and written out. I don't. But again, that is my assumption. And also, she has already mentioned earlier in the part that hasn't been transcribed yet, she mentions that she is a victim of MK Ultra. Well, we know that victims of MK Ultra have different alters. So if that is the case, her handwriting will vary depending on which alter is presenting at that point. So to me, that makes sense. I don't discount it just because the handwriting looks a little bit different here and there. I have had people tell me that they have done an analysis of it, and it appears, even though the writing is different, when you look at the formation of the letters, it is consistent. Now, this person was not a handwriting analyst, but it would be interesting if somebody that was could take a look at this. But he certainly has a lot of investigative experience. So anyway, she was not somehow, okay, let me see, where are we here? Okay, we're on to page 77 now. And after a PGM, Peter Gordon McNee, who is her husband, met with Carlos Slim and White and Case LLP, I found the following money laundering organizational chart in the basement of our marital home in Ridgewood, New Jersey, after PGM, her husband, was removed by the Ridgewood police, who threatened me and told me I could not go into a room in the basement where PGM had a home office, but HS also has an office in New York City at Tribe Mobile Inc. 1350 Avenue of the Americas, 6th, New York City, New York. My Photo Album Inc., Princeton, New Jersey area. Now, she actually was the CEO of My Photo Album Inc., and we discussed that in the last video. Charity fraud at Urban Dynamics. William J. Clinton's UMES zone in Harlem, New York. UMES facilities, economic development in the neighborhoods of Central, West, and East Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. Legislation authored by Congressman Charles B. Rangel and signed into law by President Clinton in 1994. And a false address in Baldwin, New York, per Nexus IRB reports. And again, there's a lot, all of this needs to be looked into further, but I'm presenting the evidence, and we are trying to present it in a way that others can pick up and run with it and add more clarity to some of this, because it is clearly something, to me, with all these ties and so forth, ties into things that we already know are corrupt. I think it bears looking into, and I think that it would be negligent of us to not look into it, personally. Now, if once, we have clarity that somebody is looking at this on an official level, then certainly at that point we can move on. But anyway, here is page 78. Or Russia, Deep State, New World Order, British, 19 Eyes, 5 Eyes, CIA. I've never heard reference to 19 Eyes. I don't know exactly what that is, but maybe some of you do. Includes Sweden, equals Millicom, Luxembourg, KGB, Vladimir Chechnikov, Mossad, David Kumchi, Russia, trips to Moscow, Chelyabinsk, but no Millicom cellular licenses in Russia until 2001. Prostitutes, $1,000 a night. Now this is all connected with her husband's dealings. He gave me irregular, took off his wedding band, permanent, and got a vasectomy even though I could no longer carry, found his email addresses, multiple unknown companies, not on his CIS, and it says maybe CI5 or @IS, and passwords, including, and she writes this referring, now I think it is saying Mr. 1%, Mr. 1%, I don't know. Jesse number 1, Jess, told me he loved her, but she attended Lady Gaga concert in Las Vegas with Jesse Hanley. And we are on to page 79. I found the following chart in 2 forms, in a handwriting I did not recognize, typed and with boxes and circles, White and Case documents, OPIC docs from 2010, ePlanet Capital, 300 million, 5 Credit Suisse docs, HSBC wire transfer to Toronto Dominion Bank for Tribe Mobile, and R Case in nominee, IRB Nexus reports and findings, Credit Suisse account of P. McNee, that's her husband, for Virgin Group by forensic investigator James, and it doesn't have a last name there. So that is page 80, and page 81 appears to be a duplicate of prior 2 pages, and he says, I must have messed up with my snipping tool. So we forgive you. Let's move on to page 82. Detective JOC, RICO Tax, Charity, Offshore, /Shells, F-Bar, FACTA, Protecting JWM, WMM, and the Racketeer, Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, commonly referred to as the RICO Act, or simply RICO, is a United States federal law that provides for extended criminal penalties and a civil cause of action for acts performed as part of an ongoing criminal investigation. So that is what she's talking about there. Changing names, same as Bob and changing names, same as Bob and drug traffickers, postal fraud, wire, aliases being used. Judge should refer Curl, and he's put in parentheses here, wire, criminal, your lawyer is a crook, Credit Suisse account, Tribe Mobile, FEIN number, confirmed my report and allegations with Special Agent Jeff Fata, IRS. So the IRS knows. Let's hope it's a good person at the IRS that has this report and not a Lois Lerner type deep stater. Yeah, completely concur. And she goes on to say, I fled my home. I fled my, she doesn't finish. I abandoned, sick, that is her spelling. I abandoned my car, WikiLeaks Vault 7, QRS11 or QRSH. Sometimes it's hard to determine exactly what she's writing. Hillary Rodham Clinton. No one does this unless they fear for their life. And, continued on page 83, this is the Virgin money laundering scheme that is being operated in Latin America, most likely Mexico, to launder money from 1. Drug trafficking, 2. Human trafficking, 3. OPIC, USAID frauds, Overseas Private Investment Corporation, 4. Possible future securities fraud, at a Virgin Mobile or Tribe Mobile stock, White and Case LLP, to be determined, narco-terrorism, ML/TF of illicit funds to Pakistan using Virgin cell phone cards, i.e. smurfing. Structuring, also known as smurfing in banking jargon, is the practice of executing financial transactions such as making bank deposits in a specific pattern calculated to avoid triggering financial institutions to file reports required by law, such as the United States Bank Security Act and Internal Revenue. You know, if you go into a bank, I don't know what the cutoff date, I think it's 10,000, and you do transactions, they have to, by law, report those transactions. So smurfing is breaking it into smaller transactions so you can avoid that. All right, page 84. Examples. After I found, he told me to get out. 1. Mark Thar, FBI incident, Rutland, Vermont. 2. Tax guy. 3. Recording. 4. Peter. 5. Jill. 6. Robert Kerwell, and he's put sick here because that's how she spelled it, but it could be Crenell, Robert Crenell. Incident with police. A. Ridgewood, Ludlow, Greenfield, Hank C. Incident with black lawyer. Police threat, no response, FBI, IRS, and SEC. Hotel and bank card online, charity fraud, 5 times. Fax machine, IRS, CI, security/protection, tape recording. All these incidents prove warrantless electronic surveillance, GPS, RFID, chip tracking. So I guess she is listing these as proof that she has been under warrantless electronic surveillance and RFID chip tracking. Again, I am just reading what is in the notebook. I am in no way saying that this is true. It just bears more investigation. Page 85, my private conversation with attorney. 2, and she's going on about these incidents here. Gaslighting by frenemies. We all know what frenemies are. People that present themselves as friends, but they're really enemies. Gaslighting by frenemies/husband. This term comes from the 1938 stage play Gaslight, in which a husband attempts to drive his wife crazy by dimming the lights, which were powered by gas, in their home, and then he denies that the lights The light changed when his wife points it out. It is a very effective form of emotional abuse that causes a victim to question their own feelings, instincts, and sanity, which gives the abusive partner a lot of power. And we know that abuse is about power and control. Once an abusive partner has broken down the victim's ability to trust their own perceptions, the victim is more likely to stay in the abusive relationship. Domestic violence, physical, attempted mind control, my H, I think she means husband, trafficked, sold me to the deep state, DARPA and or microchipped, direct energy weapons, attacks and harassment, RFID/GPS tracking, predatory, stalking tactics, located, threatened by strangers to keep my mouth shut or else I'll be put in a psychiatric facility and made to look like a bad mother, directed conversation, workplace, robbing tactics, admitted to being paid. So these people that were doing this admitted to being paid is what she's saying. Workplace, Ridgewood Public Schools, Okemo Mountain Resort, and we're on to page 86. JWM is my handler controller. Because my husband is a deep state foreign operative, NOC, I have been under constant 365, 7 days a week, 24-hour electronic and human surveillance, harassment, threats, a smear, slander, and retaliation campaign to discredit me as a potential credible witness, provide multiple evidence and incidents including drugging, rape, home car break-ins and vandalism, intimate and frenemy, infiltration by agent provocateurs, evidence suppression, tampering and theft, forgery of my name on financial and legal documents, impersonation, serious human rights abuses, microchipping, which is a form of human trafficking, extrajudicial punishment, i.e. the parallel justice system, attempted arson, theft of my domestic violence records, police reports and restraining orders, theft of my Chub. Chub is a multinational insurance company, headquarters in Switzerland, mail theft, tampering, checks stolen from my mail and placed in my husband's TD bank account, attempted poisonings, gassing with scopolamine and fentanyl type gas, arsenic, insecticide, denied medical treatment, tape recorded without, she's going to continue this, or maybe she's not. Tape recorded W/O. Scopolamine based transdermal system. The skin patch is used to prevent nausea and vomiting caused by motion sickness or recovery from anesthesia and surgery. Hyoscine, also known as scopolamine, is a medication used to treat motion sickness and post-operative nausea and vomiting. It is also sometimes used before surgery to decrease saliva. When used by injection, effects begin after about 20 minutes and last for up to 8 hours. It may also be used by mouth and as a skin patch. And what is, that's Rohypnol. Okay, I was thinking of the date rape drug, but I don't think neither of those are that. So let's go on. We're on to page 87. Cover-up/corruption by DOJ, judicial obstruction of justice. I performed a simple Google search on our home, surveilled unsecure Macintosh computer, search Peter McNee, Tribe Mobile, result, a lawsuit filed by Tribal Mobile Virgin nominee, Russell Case of Case Corp Council of Idaho, our case versus Virgin Latin American Tribe Mobile Inc., found a corrupt U.S. court judge cover-up using a gag order memo against Russell Case. And page 88 is a block diagram seen here. And we have Richard Branson, Virgin Group Media Blackout. And then we've got Mossack Fonseca, Panama Papers. And then up here we have Jill Guerrero, Fernando Guerrero. And it comes down to here, J.W. Metcalf, Mishel Metcalf, Del Sol Limited Metcalf International Holdings. So, and then, this is just it written out. All right, page 89. Mossack Fonseca, Goldman Sachs, J.W. Metcalf, Millicom, Bank, Invic, CIBC, That's a Canadian bank. TD Bank, that's Toronto Dominion Bank. I'm trying to remember what CIBC stands for. It's a big bank in Canada anyway, and so is TD Bank. It's also in the States, but originated in Canada, obviously with the name Toronto Dominion. Walter M. McNee, alias Michael McCoss, unreadable. Peter G. McNee, FCT, IPO, Deutsche Bank, MPA, Lloyds Bank, PGM, husband, that's her Peter G. McNee. Urban Dynamics, UBS, Warburg, Dillon, R. Reed. Could it read? And he's offering a suggestion here. Could it read? The Warburg Dillon Reed was an investment bank created by the Swiss Bank Corporation, SBC, following its 1997 acquisition of S.G. Warburg and Company. Afrimax and company overview. Afrimax, which is headquartered in the Netherlands, started in 2010. Our vision is to be the number one next generation 4G operator in the sub-Saharan Africa, a rapidly developing region with remarkable growth potential. In 2014, Afrimax entered into a partner markets agreement with Vodafone Group and is now part of the Vodafone family with over 400 million customers globally. Afrimax is already a regional leader in 4G coverage with valuable 4G spectrum in 13 countries and licenses, which cover a total population of more than 250 million people. Virgin, Sir Richard Branson, Deutsche Bank, Trust, Clearstream, Tribe Mobile, HSBC, Credit Suisse, TD Bank, CIBC, Chase, Commerce Bank, US Bank. Page 90. Now, some of this she's listing, and we don't really know. I mean, we know sort of what she's saying, but, again, all of this needs looking into. Page 90, and in case you're wondering, because I was very, very nervous about this information in my last video, extremely nervous, and I had gone 2 days with only a few hours sleep, so I was just dead tired. But I was very, very nervous, but then a helper anon told me that they are not able to pick out, to scan through and pick out words that you say. So that they don't have that. They may tell you that they do, but they don't. Kind of like what Q told us about, that they can't read memes. Now, the NSA can. The NSA has that capacity, but the general public do not. They will tell you they do, but according to Q, they don't. So I'm just passing that along. And according to this helper anon, they don't. So why is the Clinton Foundation running a private equity company in Colombia? Fondo Acceso, Doug Band plus Ateneo, North Korea, WJC, Bill Clinton, William J. Clinton. Haiti, Digicel, Dennis O'Brien, Peter McNee, Virgin Mobile, Jay Metcalf, aka Tribe Mobile, BVI, Inc., that is British Virgin Isles, ML/TF, money laundering transferring, Y Tribe, Pakistan, at Virgin Mobile, smurfing, no KYC, Virgin cell phone cards purchased in Colombia, Mexico, Carlos Slim, to transfer drug human trafficking. See, this is the thing. A lot of people could look at this and just say, well, she's mentally ill. She's just making up this stuff about her husband. This is pretty sophisticated for someone just making it up on the fly, don't you think? I think so. I mean, the shills are all over here. I mean, they're all over. Anywhere that this is being talked about, there's shills there, trying to discredit it, saying, I even saw in one of the comments that, about me, she's a writer. Maybe she just made this up. Oh, well, please, thank you for thinking I'm not intelligent. I'm not. But anyway, I digress. Let's go on. Smurfing, no KYC, Virgin cell phone cards purchased in Colombia, Mexico, Carlos Slim, to transfer drug human trafficking money. So this is like, they're using this to launder human trafficking money, basically, to sponsor terrorism, deep state ops at Pakistan, PAC-ISI to MSB or M5B or MFB, Sometimes her handwriting isn't the clearest. Millicom to Pakistan, Mohammed Yousaf, Alico of Alawo, Bank of Dhafar, Planet Capital, CFO, Rabia Sukarel, I don't know, United Gulf Bank, IFRB, Peter McNee. See, a lot of these things probably make perfect sense to her, and probably when we start digging into this in depth and get more eyes on this, we will start understanding what all these little abbreviations are and how they connect. There's a lot here, and I'll tell you, it's not something someone just, put together on the fly and thought, oh, I'm going to pass this off as a notebook. I mean, come on, guys. I'm not saying that this is real, but if it's not real, it's a very sophisticated hoax. That's all I'm saying. Now, United Gulf Bank, IFRB, Peter McNee, founder H.R. Clinton, SOS, Planet Capital, CEO plus CGI member, Planet Capital, CFO, American Pakistan Foundation, Child Sex Trafficking, Mango, Hillary Rodham Clinton, or other frauds, United Gulf Bank, ML, Terror Finance via Zakat, Jihad, reverse money laundering. So there's a lot here, and this is the actual page where this is being taken from. So it's hard. Some of this, it's hard to read. And so it's hard to get exactly what she's saying. And this is somebody that has probably been taking notes over a time period. They're probably trying to document. They've probably got this mind full of information that they've seen over the duration of their marriage. And they're trying to get this together in some sort of a way that makes sense and get it on paper. That is my impression of this. Not sure, but that is my impression. Page 91. Now, Deep State, Five Eyes, Committee of 300, Queen Elizabeth II, Obama and Clinton's, illicit, dirty money, global, Deep State, CIA, human trafficking, drug trafficking, Deep State, CIA, OPIC fraud, USAID, pay to play, Clinton Foundation, CGI, securities fraud, TBD, Virgin, Tribe Mobile stock, all the above point to Sir Richard Branson, Tribe Mobile, money laundering scheme. Dirty money is cleaned through Mossack Fonseca, Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Trust, Richard Branson, J.W. Metcalf, P.G. McNee, HSBC Bank, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Friends Group, J.W. Metcalf, Goldman Sachs, Cash Account, Credit Suisse, Tribe Mobile, BVI, VMLA, Peter McNee, TD Bank, CIBC, Walter M. McNee, Peter McNee, Chase Bank. And there's the picture of where that was transcribed from. Page 92. Korea, North, Nuclear Secrets, Philippines, Bojenka, World Trade Center, 1993. The Bojenka plot was a large-scale three-phase attack planned by terrorists Ramzi Yousaf and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed for January 1995. The only fatality resulted from a test bomb planted by Yousaf on Philippines Airline Flight 434, which killed one person and injured 10 others. Cover-up. William J. Clinton, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Pakistan. Human Intelligence Spy, CIA operative at U.S. Consulate. Signals Intelligence, cell phone data without warrant, outed 2 U.S. citizens, U.S. Consulate employees, a diplomatic cover. NSA, Signals Intelligence, Communications Specialist Gary Dursell, CIA. Jackie, injured Mark McClure, security or secretary, it's hard to tell. Pakistan, Millicom, Al-Qaeda, Ramzi Yousaf, assassinations, Mr. 1%, Peter McNee. Not exactly sure what Mr. 1% means, but child sex trafficking in Pakistan, children for nuclear weapons intel. So children were exchanged for nuclear weapons intel. Hillary Rodham Clinton, non-official, visit to Pakistan in March 1995. Mango diplomacy. Mangoes, Hillary Rodham Clinton / Cheryl Mills. Caracol, Caracol, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, complex. Photo of child number 7. Hillary Rodham Clinton requests to see child victim photo. Haiti, child sex trafficking, websites used for human trafficking, prostitution, pornograph, and that was her spelling. My photo album. Now, that is what she was CEO of, and it was a data sharing application to share pictures. So it's possible what kind of pictures were being shared, but we don't know that for a fact. FortuneCity.com, adult friend finder. And this is the picture of where that information came from. 93. Too much money to. MVNO, Virgin Mobile, false front company for deep state. Sovereign wealth funds, Islamic Sharia finance, MLTF, World Bank funds, IMF funds. Now, qui tam fraud, OPIC frauds. Qui tam under the False Claims Act allows persons and entities with evidence of fraud against federal programs or contacts to sue the wrongdoer on behalf of the United States government. In qui tam actions, the government has the right to intervene and join the action. In the United States, that type of fraud may be a violation of the False Claim Act or similar state and local laws, and a whistleblower who exposes fraud in the government may bring a qui tam lawsuit on behalf of the government and potentially receive a share of the recovered by the government as a reward. Pay to play, corruption, HRS, and could that be Hillary Rodham Clinton? It could be. SOS, you said, Virgin Green Funds plus ePlanet Capital. All the above point to Branson. Sir Richard Branson money laundering scheme at Tribe Mobile Operating Company, Tribe Mobile BVI, Lynn, Tribe Mobile Form D filing, DBA, doing business as Virgin Mobile, and all that points to Sir Richard Branson Virgin Group. And that points to the Clinton Foundation, criminal cartel. Clinton Foundation, criminal cartel. So, and here is her diagram of that. And this is Branson here, money laundering scheme, Tribe Mobile Operating Company, Tribe Mobile BVI, Tribe Mobile Form D filing, all here. And this is Deep State up here, leads to Sir Richard Branson. Down here, Sir Branson Virgin Group. Over here, Clinton Foundation criminal cartel. And then this is fraud, OPIC funds, IMF funds, World Bank, sovereign wealth funds, Islamic Sharia finance, whatever. And she's saying too much money to MVNO, Virgin Mobile, false front company for deep state. All right. Now, 94. Now we're going to go up to page 100, and then I'm going to break it because it's going to be too long, and some of you may not be interested in this. I think it's very interesting. It's unusual. It's an unusual find, and I think it's very interesting. But again, I'm a little bit nervous about putting this out there, and I do want to, again, say the disclaimer that none of us know whether this is true or not. None of us. If it's a hoax, it's a very elaborate one. But all I'm doing is conveying the contents of this notebook. No more, no less. I think that it needs further research to see if all these things connect, and that's what people are doing. Anyway, page 94, Tribe Mobile, Form D, OPIC fraud, Islamic Financial Review Boards, Whitlet case, LLP, Emmer delivery, not clear, Virgin Mobile, Tribe Mobile, stock, VMOB, Islamic Sharia law, reverse money laundering, financial, and I think what this is just going over what we just saw on this. So, as far as I see here, yeah. But JWM, J Metcalf, Deutsche Bank, WMM, alias TD Bank, CIBC, MasterCard, Dirty Crowns Banks, money goes to PGM, Peter J. McNee, or G. McNee, Deutsche Bank, and that's money goes to these people. Avon Old Farm School, an all-boys school in Avon, Connecticut. Interesting. Somebody needs to jump on that. I would like to be able to investigate everything, but I'm just one little person. And so it takes all of us. Avon, Old Farms School. Avon Old Farms School. It's an all-boys school in Avon, Connecticut. McNee, Morgan Clark. Morgan Kujel is faculty at Avon School and editor of the Avonian. Chris Clark is athletic director at Avon School. So interesting. Jill plus Fernando, TD Bank. And he's saying it's unclear here whether that's actually TD Bank or not. Sometimes it is hard to, decipher her handwriting. ABN, AMRO, CDO fraud or CPO fraud. 2008 mortgage crisis plus TAARP. 95 Liberty Media UK, Sir Richard Branson licenses Virgin Label, Global Elite, Haiti child trafficking ring at Human Trafficking Network, Clinton Foundation, Podesta Group et al. ICMEC, NCMEC, Brian Podesta, CGEP, Frank Giustra, Bill Clinton, Carlos Slim, Deep State / CIA equals Rand Corp equals Carlos Slim, Peter McNee, Virgin Mobile, LATAM, doing business as Tribe Mobile BVI Inc. in Colombia plus Mexico, drug trafficking and money laundering. Haiti, Caracol Complex. Clinton created this industrial park in Haiti. And from my understanding, this is in not in the part of Haiti that was damaged by the earthquake. So interesting. Monica Peterson, investigator, suicided. Mangoes, Hillary Rodham Clinton code word, WikiLeaks. And this is where that is coming from. This chart right here, Liberty Media, Sir Richard Branson licenses the Virgin Label, Global Elite, human trafficking, and she's showing how all of this fits in. And certainly it will be helpful when this is converted to actual word flowcharts. Alrighty. Page 96. If President Trump wants some leverage in Mexico, my testimony / evidence and Carlos Slim at New York Slimes, sick, that's her spelling. Check this out, infographic. He can go after this criminal / deep state network, starting with in Bev Modelo Bean, a U.S. company, Mossack Fonseca, Seth Rich, interesting, Monica Peterson, Madeline McCounsell, Rachel Chendon, not readable, MM Investigator, Haiti child sex trafficking at Caracol Complex, 2 photos of Hillary Rodham Clinton with Sir Richard Branson in Haiti at Caracol Complex, corruption, pay to play. And you can see just reading some of this stuff why, looking at this stuff, it ties into so much of what we've been talking about for the last year. You can see why I think anybody that knows what has been happening the last year would pay serious attention to this, and their interest would be perked. So, Obama, WJC, William Jefferson Clinton, plus HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton, U.S. Deep State, SOS, USAID, CIA, 2010, OPIC, Qui Tam frauds, 1, Virgin Green Funds, Virgin Mobile et al., concealed with criminal intent at ePlanet Capital, doing business as Tribe Mobile, BVI, Mossada Fonseca, Goldman Sachs, VMLA Mexico and Colombia, HSBC Credit Suisse, TD Bank, Chase, Avon Old Farms Prep School, Virgin Money, laundering operation, U.S. corporations subject to EO and U.S. laws, InBev, Anheuser-Busch, Modelo Beer, Grupo Bimbo, a bakery. Yeah. Um, and 97, this is another series of block diagrams that need to be viewed in context. Obama, $65,000 hot dog party. Yeah, it's all in there. WikiLeaks, Hillary Rodham Clinton plus Podesta emails, Pizzagate plus Pedogate, Virgin Unite, Al Pita Factory, Canadian / Greece boys home, boy lover symbol, which is this. Sir Richard Branson, Haiti, Caracol Complex, Mango, Trees, email, Hillary Rodham Clinton plus Cheryl Mills. And of course, Cheryl Mills was the person that was caught trafficking in Haiti. And of course, the Clintons got her off. Child number 7, not sure what that is about. Child number 7, Hillary Rodham Clinton wants to see a photo. Monica Peterson, suicided by Deep State. Monica Peterson was assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center in Colorado. While investigating the she says here, Clintos, child sex trafficking in Haiti, she apparently committed suicide. She had done research for 2 years and had just produced a 110-page analysis. She said, I can't say to what extent, but there is human trafficking happening throughout the Clintons' Caracol complex, and mining has always been historically linked to trafficking, slavery, and labor exploitation, and there is a gold mine within 10 miles of the Caracol complex. I'd like to go see for myself who's laboring at Morn Bassa, but I would hypothesize that the Dominicans are doing the contractual oversight of the mining while marginalized Haitians are being exploited for low or no cost labor in dangerous mining conditions. That's 2 huge human trafficking scandals, an environmental degradation scandal, a social displacement scandal, a presidential election scandal, a scandal with billions in unaccounted for earthquake aid, all leading directly back to the Clintons' racist cronyism in Haiti. The facts are Peterson's body has not been recovered. The cause of death has not been stated. An autopsy has not been performed. Her family has also not been notified as to the cause of her death or what exactly happened or why her body has not been returned. ICMEC, NCMEC, Brian Podesta with a security clearance, maybe that's what they're trying to say. WA, I don't know what, I would assume that this says Brian Podesta with a security clearance. ICMEC is the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. NCMEC is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So they're both. Seth Rich, DNC leaker, murder, missing. The murder of Seth Rich occurred on Sunday, July 10th, 2016 at 4:20 a.m. in the Bloomingdale neighborhood of Washington, D.C. Rich died from 2 shots to the back. Madeline McCann, sick, that's her spelling. Investigator, murder, Madeline Beth McCann, disappearance on the eve of 3rd of May, 2007 from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, a resort in the Algarve region of Portugal, sparking what one newspaper calls the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. Her whereabouts remain unknown, but actually, remember when they released the suspects? Sure did look a lot like the Podesta brothers. Frank Giustra, Radcliffe Foundation, Uranium One scandal, CGEP, Clinton Giustra Partnership, Haiti Child Sex Trafficking, Carlos Slim Foundation, CIA / Deep State, Rand Corporation / New York Times, Virgin Mobile / Latin American doing business as Tribe Mobile, Peter McNee, NVNNEA, Friend Group, J. Metcalf. And that is taken from this. So it would be helpful to have this converted. There is the symbol for the boy lover symbol. And this is, it would be helpful. If any of you guys have time to spare and want to do some flowcharts, knock yourself out. I think that we can all those of us that are interested can join together and do some of this research and maybe find out a little bit more and maybe find out what has happened to her, whether she's still alive and whether she is indeed the author of this notebook. That would be good to know. Page 98. 1. EO plus websites online. EO is usually executive order. 2. Global. Money laundering, illicit deep state funds, drugs plus HT. Not sure what HT means. Corruption, pay to play, Clintons plus other, Carlos Slim / Slim. Virgin Unite Canada plus CGEP / FG plus Alpedia. Clinton Giustra Alpedia Partnership, Haiti Sex Trafficking / Frank Giustra and the Old Jeans Factory. Radcliffe Foundation, Frank Giustra's Foundation. Virgin Green Funds, ePlanet Capital, doing business as Virgin Mobile, VMMEA, J. Epstein Island. Interesting. VMLA, American PAC Foundation, Podesta, ICMEC, International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, HRC, Sherry, it's the wife of Tony Blair, Laura Silsby, Haiti, SRC plus Hillary Rodham Clinton, Clinton Foundation, CGI, that's Clinton Global Initiative, FOB / CGEP / Clinton Bush, SRC, could that be Susan Rice or meant to be Hillary Rodham Clinton? There is a line to Queen Elizabeth II, royal family. Is there some royal with SRC? Could it be SRB? See page 101. Carlos Slim, you said, CIA, U.S. Department of State, OPIC, fraud, pay to play, Virgin, Green Fund, Virgin Mobile, at Caracol Complex, Haiti, Monica Peterson, that's the person that was murdered, concealed at ePlanet Capital. And margin notes, these are her margin notes. 300M is Rachel Chandler, connected to Epstein Island, maybe Epstein's helper. We've heard lots about Rachel Chandler, remember, all connected to what Q has said. Murder of Podesta, and this says which brother, because we're not aware of any murder of Podesta that we're aware of. Queen Elizabeth II, royal family, and we're on to page 99. OPIC, fraud, you said, Virgin Green Funds, Virgin Mobile. See, a lot of this goes over the same information. ePlanet Capital, Virgin Unite, Alpida, Frank Giustra, Radcliffe, CGEP, Clinton, Giustra Partnership, Uranium One, Russia, Deep State, CIA, drug trafficking, human trafficking, arms trafficking, securities fraud, and this is the chart that goes along with that. At the top is OPIC, fraud, you said, Virgin Green Funds, Virgin Mobile, doing business as Tribe Mobile, and then underneath is all this, and underneath Deep State, CIA, drug trafficking. It's a lot of stuff here. Page 100 is blank. Okay, so I'm going to go to page 101 since it was just referenced. Another complex block diagram, Uranium One / Russia Frank Giustra, Frank Epstein plus Richard Branson, Obama, Virgin Island, child sex trafficking and sacrifice. First time that's been mentioned, at least in these pages. Deep State / CIA, Pakistan, ISI, Russia, KGB, Israeli, Mossad, Millicom, International Cellular, British Crown's Bank, British Crown's Bank, TD, CIBC, MasterCard, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. That's what it stands for. Yes. Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Mossack Fonseca, Panama Papers, ICIJ database, WikiLeaks, Podesta, Hillary Rodham Clinton emails, Clinton Foundation, Criminal Cartel et al., CGEP, Radcliffe, Virgin, Unite, Alpida, Frank Giustra, Giustra, William J. Clinton, boy lover pedophile symbol. Five Eyes, deep state operatives, MI6, Queen Elizabeth II. And is this Queen Elizabeth or quantitative easing? Don't know. J.W. Metcalf, MI6/Canada, Peter McNee, Walter McNee. This could be an alias for Peter or a relative. Richard Branson, Virgin. Carlos Slim /Rand Corp /New York Times. Operation Mockingbird. Sherry plus Tony Blair. ICMEC, NCMEC. That's the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So that's involved in all this. Per her, Sir Richard Branson plus Hillary Rodham Clinton at Caracol, Haiti child sex trafficking at Caracol Complex, Monica Peterson. Podesta Group, Tony plus John, Brian Podesta, security clearance, SRB, Madeleine McCann, that's Sir Richard Branson, Madeleine McCann, kidnapping fund for parents. Yeah, that's what she's saying. Again, I'm not accusing anybody. I am reading what's in the notebook. It bears further investigating. Sir Richard Branson, Madeleine McCann, kidnapping fund for parents equal suspects. Podestas equals suspects. Interesting. Now, yes, that has been out there since Q came along. That has been out there about the Podestas, but it's interesting that she makes reference to it here. And this is the diagram that this is referencing. And of course, this would be much easier to follow in a diagram format, but you know what? We're doing our best here. Let's see, how many pages are there left to go? Can't remember. Oh, okay. So we're up to 102, page 102, and that's where this ends. Although there's more pages to translate, so it's happening. It's happening quickly, and I'll bring those to you. Now, this is abbreviations and acronyms used by this author. Who is WMM? Okay, so let's take a look at some of this, all right? And we won't belabor this too long, but I do want to bring this to you. Who is who and what is what? Avon Old Farms, it's a private boys boarding school, and actually this should be in blue because this is not part of the notebook. This is part of researchers' notes. So, Avon Old Farms Private Boys Boarding School, located at 500 Old Farms Road, Avon, Connecticut. They have an endowment of $47 million. Faculty includes Morgan Kugel, is faculty at Avon School and editor of the Avonian, or yeah, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Chris Clark is athletic director at Avon School. Bojinka plot, that was a large-scale three-phase attack planned by terrorists Ramzi Youssef and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed for January 1995. The only fatality resulted in a test bomb planted by Youssef on Philippine Airlines Flight 434, which killed one person and injured 10 others. Who is the Black Lawyer, and what was that incident? We don't know. BVI is British Virgin Islands, home of the tribe Mobile, Inc. Tortola is a city there. Caracol Industrial Park, Haiti, on January 12, 2010, a huge earthquake hit Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. In the aftermath, international donors pledged $9 billion, yes, that's billion, to aid Haiti recovery with a promise to help Haiti build back better. Yet 1 year later, more than 1,000 people lost their land and livelihoods when construction of the U.S.-backed Caracol Industrial Park began. Yeah, sounds about right. Chub, who or what is Chub? Chub Limited, incorporated in Zurich, Switzerland, is the parent company of Chub, a global provider of insurance products covering property and casualty, accident and health, reinsurance, and life insurance. Chubb operates in 54 countries and territories and is in Lloyd's insurance market in London and is one of the world's largest publicly traded property and casualty insurer. Clients of Chubb consist of multinational corporations and local businesses, individuals, and insurers seeking reinsurance coverage. Chubb provides commercial. Okay, we don't need to get into all that. We know. I think most people know what Chubb is. I only know what it is because my parents had a great big old Chub sign in their yard to let people know that it was uh, secure. Anyway, in 2014, the group had 98.2 billion in assets, 23.4 billion of gross written premiums, and approximately 21,000 employees. On July, I'm just skipping through here, July 1st, 2015, ACE announced it would acquire Chubb Corporation for 28.3 billion in cash and stock. ACE has committed that Chubb's current headquarters in Warren, New Jersey, USA, will have a substantial portion of the headquarters function for the combined company's North American division. The combined company adopted the Chubb name in January 2016 after the acquisition was completed. CIBC is the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Dhofar, usually Bank Dhofar. Dhofar is on the tip of Africa, one of 11 countries in Oman. Digicel, see Dennis O'Brien. Dennis O'Brien, born 19th of April 1958, is an Irish businessman and the founder and owner of Digicel and Communicorp. He was listed among the world's top 200 billionaires in 2015 and is also Ireland's richest native-born citizen. His business interests also extend to aircraft leasing, Arago Capital, Utility Support, Activo, Petroleum, Topaz Energy until 2016, and football, soccer. Being a minority shareholder of Celtic FC, O'Brien was implicated by the Morarty Tribunal as having improperly influenced the decision to award a mobile phone license to the SAT Digiphone Consortium, which he chaired. So, this isn't just anybody, because they've got all these names. And it fits together. It fits together with what we already know. But we cannot jump to the conclusion that this is, I believe it's real. I personally believe it's real, or I wouldn't be bringing it to you. But that is, I'm not qualified to be able to say this would have to be researched. And it would take an awful lot of people researching it. An awful lot. Elpida factory, former jeans factory, turned into a refugee shelter. In partnership with the Greek Ministry of Migration, the Radcliffe Foundation is working with on-the-ground partners to open the Elpida Center to house refugees in northern Greece. Frank Giustra, Canadian philanthropist, businessman, and founder of the Radcliffe Foundation, along with American philanthropist Ahmed Khan, finalized the paperwork to provide housing for 800 refugees, many of them women and children. Giustra, Frank Giustra, born August 1957, is a Canadian businessman, mining financier, and philanthropist who also founded Lionsgate Entertainment. From 2001 to 2007, he was the chairman of the merchant banking firm Endeavour Financial, which financed mining companies. He is the CEO of Fior Group of Companies. Frank Giustra, net worth. Frank Giustra is a Canadian businessman and philanthropist who has a network of $1 billion. Frank Giustra was born in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada in 1957. He has been successful in the industries of filmmaking and mining. You would wonder how those two industries go together, but apparently he put them together. ICMEC is the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Who is Jessie? Jessie Hanley, of someone using that name, was found on the internet that works as a Victoria's Secret's underwear model. Maybe unrelated. No way to tell. Who is Jill? Jill Taquera Guerrero, Fernando Guerrero, that's probably who that is referring to. And Guerrero's JWM is PGM. That is her husband, Peter McNee. That JWM is his handler / controller. JW Metcalf, Mishel Metcalf, Dassault Limited, Metcalf International Holdings. Mr. J. Metcalf co-founded Virgin Mobile Central and Eastern Europe in 2011. Mr. Metcalf is co-founder and serves as chairman of Reliance WiMAX World Limited and Aframax. Mr. Metcalf was the founder and shareholder and served as chief Chief Executive and President of Millicom International Cellular. Mr. Metcalf is an international financier and venture capitalist. He has an impressive track record funding and building successful mobile operations ventures around the world. Mr. Metcalf was involved in the startup of Vodafone. Mr. Metcalf has more than 30 years' experience developing international mobile operators all over the world. He's co-founder of eWave World Limited and serves as its chairman. He was founder of Fortune City. He serves as founding director of Virgin Mobile Latin America. Mr. Metcalf serves as director of Virgin Mobile Middle East and Africa, formerly Friend-E Group, FZ LLC, and Virgin Mobile Central and Eastern Europe. He served as director of Bharti Airtel Africa BV. He served as director of Zain Africa BV, also known as Celtel International. Mr. Metcalf served as director of Tel2. Now, really, when you think about it, how would this person have all these names? This would have had to have been extensively researched before written. You can't just sit down and write this stuff off and have all the names and the connections and all. It just, nah. Okay. Madeline Beth McCann, disappearance on the eve of 3rd of May 2007 from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, a resort in the Algarve region of Portugal, sparking what one newspaper called the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. Her whereabouts remain unknown. And fact, IPO, Mango is a code name for Hillary from WikiLeaks. I have personally vouched for Pakistani mangoes, which are delicious, and I'm looking forward to seeing Americans be able to enjoy those in the coming months, Clinton said during her visit to Islamabad last week. Interesting. I think we know what mangoes stand for, don't we? Mangoes, plural, is Hillary and Cheryl Mills. Millicom International Cellular SA is an international telecommunications and media company founded by Shelby Bryan. Millicom was one of the earliest pioneers of mass consumer mobile telephony and was formed in 1990 when Millicom Incorporated merged with the Swedish investment company Industria Since then, the firm has seen annual revenue grow to $6 billion. Driven mainly by mobile phone services and increasingly by data and an expanding portfolio of cable, satellite, broadband, business-to-business, mobile financial services, and other media. So, and again, I'm not going to get into some of this detail, but because I'm going to upload this, okay? I'm going to upload all the links to all of this. I'm going to put it in the description box so that you are able to go to this, that you can look at it at your leisure, that you can tear it apart and research it to your heart's content. Because, like I said, I want as many eyes on this as possible because we don't know at this point. We just don't know. ML is money laundering. Money laundering / TF is likely money laundering / transfer. Monica Peterson suicided by Deep State. She was the assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center in Colorado. While investigating the Clintons and child sex trafficking in Haiti, she apparently committed suicide. That happens a lot around the Clintons. Don't know what it is about them. It just makes people want to commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head with the wrong hand. She has done research for 2 years and has just produced a 110-page analysis. She said, I can't say to what extent, but there is human trafficking happening throughout the Clintons' Caracol complex, and mining has always been historically linked to trafficking, slavery, and labor exploitation. I'd like to go see for myself who's laboring at Morne Bassa, but I would hypothesized that the Dominicans are doing the contractual oversight of the mining while marginalized Haitians are being exploited for low to no cost labor in dangerous mining conditions. That's 2 huge human trafficking scandals, an environmental degradation scandal, a social displacement scandal, a presidential election scandal, a scandal with billions in unaccounted for earthquake aid, all leading directly back to the Clintons' racist cronyism in Haiti. The facts are Peterson's body has not been recovered. Cause of death not stated, autopsy not performed, family's not been notified as to the cause of her death or what exactly happened or why her body has not been returned. Morne Bassa is an occurrence deposit site discovered in 1978 in Haiti territory, Haiti. It is a deposit not considered to be of world-class significance, gold and copper deposits are documented as Morne Massa gold is present at a grade sufficient to have a strong effect on the economics of an excavation project. It may even be viable as the only commodity mined. Copper can be economically recovered from this site, but would have little effect on the viability of the mining project. At the time this deposit was surveyed, one mineralization was documenting in an outcrop shallow pits or isolated drill hole. Aside from routine maintenance, there has been no production or little to no activity since discovery. This also means that details including grade, tonnage, and extent of mineralization are unknown. UN was most closely, I don't know what this UN was most closely involved in the discovery of this deposit. This is on the north side of Haiti, not too far from the Clintons' area of interest. Yeah, only 10 miles away. 10 miles. I could walk 10 miles on a good day with good shoes. Maybe not. Anyway, Mossad, Israeli intel, think Israeli CIA, operates outside of Israel. Also this, the secret history of Mossad, Israel's feared and respected intelligence agency. Israeli intelligence from the outset occupied a shadow realm separate from the country's democratic institutions, a deep state. So, MPA, NVNO, NCMEC, and so we're not sure what these mean, actually. NCMEC is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. NOC, Carlos Slim may be with RAND Corporation. Yes, he is. So, let's see what else we have here. Oh, okay. NOC is the stock ticker symbol for Northrop Grumman Corporation. Is there a special agent, James Fata, at the IRS? Did he take this report? What is TF, as in MLTF, probably money laundering transfer? OPIC, the Overseas Private Investigation, or Investment rather, the Overseas Private Investment Corporation is a self-sustaining U.S. government agency that helps American businesses invest in emerging markets. PGM is Peter Gordon McNee. Transworld Airlines that exploded and crashed into the Atlantic Ocean near East Morrick, New York on July 17th, 1996 at about 8:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 12 minutes after takeoff from John F. Kennedy International Airport on a scheduled international passenger flight to Rome with a stopover in Paris. All 230 people on board died in the third deadliest aviation accident in U.S. history. Accident investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board traveled to the scene, arriving the following morning amid speculation that a terrorist attack was the cause of the crash. Consequently, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the New York Police Department Joint Terrorism Task Force initiated a parallel criminal investigation. 16 months later, the JTTF announced that no evidence had been found of a criminal act and closed its active investigation. But according to this person, it was not an accident. SRB, well, at the time that he wrote this, it was unknown, but we know that that is Sir Richard Branson. But tied to Madeleine McCann, UMass, Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone, a Clinton-era government program for Harlem. Russell Case, intro from his LinkedIn account. I've been told my background is a bit unique for a corporate and securities lawyer. I prefer to think that I've just been lucky. What else could explain why I've been able to move in and out of private practice, combine 15 years working and great lawyers with 15 plus years of in the trenches experience at a multinational and publicly traded corporations? Even fewer lawyers have been able to shift from law to business and back, moving from in-house counsel to director of international business development, vice president of mergers and acquisitions, and board members of private and public companies, all the while traveling the world helping great companies like Scientific Atlanta, Bell South, Concert, Virgin Mobile, and Amazon expand their businesses, and now just finishing with living happily in Boise, Idaho. Instead of my usual airline seat 12A, I am still helping people build and expand businesses, putting My business aside, to work by evaluating company, blah, 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 blah. Really, how lucky is that? Well, I don't know. Specialties, multi-party joint ventures, renewable energy, funding and development, international and national business expansions via mergers, blah, blah, blah. So that's him. PAC ISI is Islamabad, chief of Pakistan's powerful agency, or spy agency, ISI, Lieutenant General Naveed Mukhtar and 4 other 3-star generals will retire on Monday, according to a media report, besides Director General of Inter-Services Intelligence, ISI, Lieutenant General Mukhtar. The others retiring on Monday are, so anyway, this is Pakistan's spy agency, Islamabad. Well, Islamabad, isn't it? It's ISI. Okay, now. Commissioned in the Armored Corps Regiment in 1983, Lieutenant General Mukhtar is a graduate of the Command and Staff College, Quetta National Defense University, NDU, Islamabad, and the United States Army War College. He assumed the office of ISI Director General on December 11, 2016, commissioned in Frontier Force Regiment in 1983. Lieutenant General Butt is a graduate of the Command and Staff College, Quetta, and NDU, Islamabad. He also served as military secretary to the Prime Minister and Pakistan Defense Attaché in the U.S. So, I mean, this seems tied to so much and so many people. And Quitam, we've already looked at that, and WMM, oh my gosh, may refer to Michelle Metcalf, wife of J. Metcalf, as both sets of initials are generally used together. An alias is once mentioned. So there you go. That is the second half of the notebook. The first half is still being transcribed, but I wanted to bring you that. I wanted to also supply you with the link so that you can investigate for yourself, because that is what this is all about. It is about getting the information in front of you and you being the judge. So anyway, that is all I have for now. I may do another video. It will not be notebook related, but I may do another video on the Q related news, because there's a lot of stuff happening. Wow. There's a lot of stuff happening. I know I always say that, but there really is. All right, so that's it for this video, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. I hope you enjoy this New Year's Eve, and that you have a happy and prosperous 2019. Big things are happening, and there's a lot, I believe, that will happen this week. If not this week, I may start to question some stuff, but we'll see at the end of this week. Maybe, at least January 10th, if nothing's happened, I think I'm going to start to reevaluate some things, but we'll see. Anyway, hope you have a great night, and again, happy and prosperous 2019. Thank you guys so much for everything you do, for your comments. You're so encouraging, and I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Okay? Good night.